All right, take 3. I had to get out and where I'm looking for. Our salesman pulled up. So we had to go, show them what we about to do. This job a little different. They got their social media policy. I might be able to, show y'all what I do. Low key, high key. Because it says something. Trident sucks. I hate Trident gum. Don't sponsor me, Trident. I'm sorry. If you're paying me right, I'll do it. For the love of money. Anyway, the social media policy for this company, they say I might be able to show y'all like what I do as long as it don't interfere with my work duties, right? Also, it says I can mention that I work for the company as long as I don't put it inside my name. And then everything I do from a personal and work, like, let it be professional, right? Which I feel like I'm pretty professional. Anywho, with that being said, even then, like, a disclaimer among things like this is strictly my personal experience, not a Greco as a whole. I have to say stuff like that. That's gonna be kind of new, but I mean, yeah, this is just me. This is my experience. I don't speak for nobody but myself. I don't speak for nobody but myself. But we're all feeling it. It's like a thumb on top of like just a top of a button or something like that. Just pushing on it till it do something. And I know I was talking about going to another country. There's a whole bunch of countries that this company is in. This company does a whole bunch of traveling. Which next week I'll be in New Iberia, which is in Louisiana, right, for training. So I'll be going for a whole week. One of my other coworkers was just going for like Buddy was going for like at least 3 months or something. He was going for a minute, also training. So this company does a lot of training. And you may be wondering what I do. Like, if you were to look it up, you might have a good idea of what I do. Because it's the same thing. Not the same thing, because this job is literally like, this is the most dangerous job I done had. From having to work with 480 volts, 240 volts. I'm in a lot of high voltage scenarios, right? But it's a lot of safe practices and even engineering that prevents anything from really happening. Like, as long as you don't do nothing irresponsible that you shouldn't have been doing, and being trained properly from the people around you, they're telling you what to do. That's kind of how it's been going. But I ain't gonna cap, like about the week after next, I'll be taking my LEA, which is a letter of electrical authorization. I'll get interviewed by like, I guess you could say a lead. They call him TSS. I get interviewed by him if I know everything among like the proper ways to do this stuff, or how to read a schematic. Am I safe when I'm doing this type of stuff? So I need a lot of, I got the training. I'm gonna do a lot of training, or the studying. I'm gonna do a lot of studying while I'm gone, because I mean, probably wouldn't have nothing else to do, so why not? And yeah, we're just gonna go from there, man. I'm like I said before, I feel blessed to be in a scenario like this, because I always wanted to be in a different career, and I feel like God would just open. It took some time, which I'm not complaining about, but this is kind of that different career that I was I was looking for this, like something new to do. And just like how I'm sitting now, like I've been chilling in my truck for like, and it just depends on when you have certain days like this, sometimes you just gotta sit around and wait just because of miscommunication or waiting on the customer. Like right now, we're waiting on the customer so that he can, so that we can use their forklift to move like a pump, like literally like probably like 6 inches, maybe a foot. We need to move it because we gotta plug in a hose that moves water and everything, because we deal with commercial chillers, commercial HVACs, which are called chillers. We got AC compressors or regular compressors, I think, like air compressors. I know we deal with electrical panels, power generation, so we got generators. So when I even first heard about the company, I spent a lot of time just learning about like what a 3-phase motor is. I was learning about schematics. Like there's a lot of YouTube videos that will help me that I haven't really been taking the time. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even taking the time to really study it and learn it, but this field can really elevate you in life. I can already see that just from the full potential of it. Like if I were to go out on my own from a business sense, and like I had what, like it's just so crazy because it's like there's so many opportunities out there. You just gotta find where you fit in at. It's just what do you want to do that can make you the money that you want? Like you could do anything that's gonna make you the money you want. Like if you put your mind to it. Like social media, being a content creator. I'm locking in, bro. I'm tired of me coming back with the excuses. Like, nigga, I need to understand, like, I could really make this a channel, whether it's about fitness, whether it's about how I just like to talk to the camera. You know, some people can just relate to what I'm going through. You know, I ain't really going through nothing now because life is great. Life is good, you know what I mean? But how did I get here? I feel like it's the bigger question. I feel like it's the bigger point in talking about it, right? How did I get here, in a sense? Because we all have our free will to make decisions, but when we make these decisions, sometimes they come with consequences that we didn't expect to happen. Even then, if we expected it, we still didn't see it playing out the way it did. And with that being said, sometimes we feel like there's no other way that we can change this, because at the end of the day, due to our decisions, we've got here, right? We've got to this point to where this decision we made got us here. And I always think about the fact that I'm so grateful that I went to school back in 2019 at JTech. They called me 2018 after I graduated. I remember I had just started this job. Either I was going to start this job or I had just started this job. Matter of fact, yeah, I think that's what happened. Like I was been going to this job for a little bit, called Genpack. I missed that company. I ain't gonna cap to you. I was working for, I can't even say that, honestly. They might be listening. But it was like a social media type of thing. It was a lot of, it was a different environment. It was cool. It was like that was like my first white collar job. I could have maybe went to IT with that company, but I wanted to chase my dreams of being a basketball player. I quit the job. That decision was terrible. I could have been making money and then going to play basketball in the afternoon. I ain't understand how life really worked, bro, clearly. So I had quit that job, which was a great job because I used to go to sleep every day. It was pretty nice. I enjoyed it. Even now, I could be going to sleep right now if I wanted to, but not on the clock. That's terrible. No, I'm talking about old Sean. I'm sorry. We're not even going to talk about that. But yeah, I used to fall asleep. Sure, they just woke me up. They ain't never let me go, which that was a blessing, first of all. But yeah, they took me for a tour later on that year. The year I graduated, 2018, and 2019 January, that's when I started. And I was going to school for 18 months, which led up to about 24 months, 2 years, because I decided to do the DATE program, which was to get more specialized in Mac and Volvo engines and stuff like that, like in their software and stuff, which that didn't take me anywhere. I'm just really sharing my story because, like, some people may have you may hear my story and be like, man, like, you went through a lot, buddy, you know, or you might hear my story and be like, bro, that ain't even nothing compared to what I've been through, you know. And it's just a matter of just sharing, because I feel like everyone has a story about where they came from and stuff like that, how they got to where they at. And so yeah, once I was still going to school, and I think I got my first job, and this was around COVID too, I think. I don't even remember. I don't remember COVID for real, but I do remember playing the game a lot. I do remember that. But when I first started working again, that I don't remember. So I was working at this company, Alta Construction Equipment. I was working for them for a little bit, and after like 6 months, because I was an intern for them, after like 6 months, they decided to hire me on, and then after like a month or two, they decided to let me go because I didn't have enough experience. That was my first job though. So, and it's like each time I had to really like learn how to be like working with other people. Like, I was cool working with other people, but it was more so showing a sense of urgency, showing that, yeah, I want to be here, type of questions I need to be asking. Because they had me out in the wash bay, which was terrible. But a lot of times, that's where you start off in some of these companies. Like, you start off in the worst position, and then you work your way into the shop. Yes, that's just how it be sometimes. So, like, I got let go. That hurt me. I don't know why. Thought that was the company for me, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I just felt like that ain't the first time I've been fired from a job. My first job was Cracker Barrel, and they hired me and let me go after a month because I failed the eval. I got an F on it. You know, and I was like 17, 18, like whatever age I was, but I was young. And yeah, they let me go after a month because I failed the eval. And yeah, I was in like the front area, so I had to greet people, I had to talk to people. Maybe I just wasn't the friendly type. Maybe I just wasn't the talking type to be on the, like, talking to people for real. Like, maybe that just wasn't me. And then even with my face, like, I usually got a straight face area, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, moving forward, moved out to Georgia, living in Savannah, you know what I'm saying? That was a time too. I was working at Vanguard. I'm not even gonna get too much into my personal. I'm just gonna focus on my work experience. But I moved to Savannah. I was working at Vanguard, and Vanguard was a Mac dealership. I think they were Volvo too, but I think it was just Mac actually. So they were a Mac dealership, just semi trucks and everything, and I was in there just messing stuff up, right? I was leaving the cap off of off of the engine oil. I was leaving the cap off of. I don't even remember many jobs there. Like, they weren't really giving me jobs, or there wasn't a lot of work there. A or B, like whichever you want to take. My homeboy though, he was working there for a long time, like 5 years, 4 years, whatever. And he was working there. He moved up within the business because he knew how to talk to people and you know, be around the other culture, you know, the work culture, like understanding like this, like though it's Vanguard, it's still low key, like not even low key, it's still corporate. Like, I still work for a corporate company, like it's still corporate, like in a sense, right? Yeah, I'm blue collar, but it's still corporate. People will you still can't say everything out your mouth. Like, you still have to filter it in a professional way. It's all about how you present yourself, and I didn't understand that. Like, being 19, 20, 21, 22, probably 23, 24, like I'm 26 now. You see, like, it's not a major gap where I'm still trying to understand how to maneuver within these companies because I can't fully be myself. And even with that being said, like, I still had more jobs after that. And there was still a part of me that felt like, because I had, so boom, I had, once they let me go, I don't know how long after they ain't let me go, they let me go. I don't think I worked a year. It was at least 9 months, 8 months. I don't think I worked a year there. So I started working at this other company in Savannah that was like, it was Southern Metal and Wreck. Like, so they had trailers and trucks to fix and everything. They were more old and stuff like that. That was a fleet. The other job was a dealership. So that company, I left because I moved out to Texas. I moved out to Dallas. I started living in Dallas. Dallas was lit. I miss Texas to this day. I'm gonna get back there soon, eventually. Met some cool people out there. I started working. I was doing ADT sales. Going door to door, and like, cause I didn't want to be a mechanic. Like, there was a part of me that was like, man, I don't even want to be a mechanic for real, bro. I really don't want to be a mechanic. And then, like, I eventually got a job as a mechanic because, you know, being like, that was a bad. I think about that sometimes, be like, bro, what was I thinking? You know, and it's just, sometimes you gotta, like, I wasn't a father yet, and I was about to be with two kids is on the way, and still learning how to be a man, because obviously you got to learn. This ain't nothing that comes easily, or you just know, like, as soon as you turn 21, oh, this is what it is to be a man. Like, nah, I still wanted to do my own thing and do what I wanted to do. And that's not the case when you got kids, for real. You gotta make that sacrifice for them, at least, for your family, at least. That's just the reality of the situation. Like, how are you gonna keep putting yourself first? The kids ain't even got, you know, clothes on their back, or food in their stomach, or a house over their head, or you're not even supporting them financially at all if you don't live with them. Like, you just a bum living off of others. You got your baby mama going to work. Like, what are we talking about right now? You know, like, it's Men's Mental Health Month, right? Sometimes we just gotta be real with ourselves. We think everything's supposed to come easy to us. We think we're supposed to get, I don't think like this, but I tell you right now, like, I'm just saying, like, in general sense, like, you think that you're just supposed to get treated by a woman or something like that. Like, nigga, you ain't providing nothing. You ain't providing nothing. You just there, bro. And I get it. We all wanted to be that easy. Like, let's just keep it a being. We all wanted to be that easy. But it ain't that easy. Like, if you wanted that easy, you make your life for that. To where you able to take care of your family, right? Like, you can't put yourself first once you got kids. You can't put yourself first. It's impossible. It's only possible if you just don't care. You don't see how important it is. Like, that's completely up to you. And that was just a quick little sidebar. I just went on major sidebars. But yeah, I started living in Texas. Moved back to Texas. No, moved back to Florida. I started living in Florida again. U.S. Express transferred me, which was a blessing. They transferred me, and I wasn't even there for a year. They transferred me to the Jacksonville location. So I was working at U.S. Express still for a little bit. Excuse me. working at US Express for a little bit. And working at US Express, I think I eventually left there and went to Saya. And I owe them a sign-on bonus, like $2,000 sign-on bonus. I owe them boys. I'm still paying on that. They took that to the collections. What I'm about to say, okay, so with that being said, like, whoop-de-whoop, right? Whoop-de-whoop. I decided after Saya, I wanted to get back into sales. Terrible decision again. Didn't learn my lesson from the first time. Kept repeating that cycle. I got into sales working at this company called Dynamic Capital. And that company, eventually I left there too, because it doesn't suffice. And now, since then, I just been making more money doing what I do now, working as a tech. Like, I'll be back. I gotta leave again. They outside again. I want to make sure that I ain't missing nothing. Right back.